Welcome back. I'm Layla,
I'm Heather.
and today we have Vincent Collins with us.
Oh, I'm so saying. Hi, I'm Vincent Collis, candidate for Iowa House District 61. Great to be with you guys.
Hello. We're excited to have you because you're kind of local and we don't get to talk to kind of local very often. You and Drew were
Mhm.
exciting for us because we've met you
Mhm.
in person. What inspired you to run?
Yeah. Service is sort of been a big thing in my family. So I'm son of a public school teacher. My grandmother was pretty active in politics as well, like being an organizer in her neighborhood in New York. Um, so coming here, I've worked in politics for over 10 years, helping Democrats run up and down the ballot. And, I saw an opportunity to serve the community that I now living in. And, I wanted to just kind of put my name out there and serve my community and take the fight to the state house to make life better for us.
Yes, please. Please make life better for us. I like that you're focused on serving your community aspect of running because that's should be the most important part of all of it. Sometimes it's not. I find that interesting, so that's a good answer. Do you have a primary opponent?
I do not as of right now.
Okay. And what was your district number again?
6161.
61.
Yeah.
So that's going to cover kind of part of Waterloo, right?
Yes. So our city is pretty much the Senate district covers the city of Waterloo and probably a little bit externally into the rural area,
Yeah.
just slightly though. But so I have the west side of Waterloo.
Okay. All right. What do you think makes you different from other Democratic candidates? I'd say primary, but you don't have primary yet, I guess, technically.
I mean, just all across Iowa. I'm not originally from here. I was born and raised in New York City. I moved out here to work on a political campaign and met my now wife, who is actually born and raised from Waterloo. And she's a pediatrician. So one of the things was she wanted to move back to serve her community. So me, sort of not being born and raised here, I have a outside perspective of, what Iowa could be, what Waterloo could be. And honestly, whenever I look at my community now, I see potential everywhere. There are a lot of things that we do right. I see a proud people, a strong people, a resilient people. Um, but I see opportunities for us to kind of, keep us thriving. And I think, having new, fresh blood to bring those ideas can help, invigorate that.
Yeah, that's great. We love Waterloo. We love being in Waterloo. We love organizing in Waterloo, the people of Waterloo. We
Mhm.
have a very high opinion. Um, we always ask for like a favorite political TikToker, but it doesn't have to be TikToker. It could be any kind of influencer or YouTube channel. We just try to stay away from the normal media, right?
For
First of all,
sure.
we don't mess with legacy media
Yeah.
like unless we are absolutely forced to. And everyone loves NPR and IPR.
Sure,
So
sure, sure.
those are, so we try to get kind of some maybe niche ones we haven't heard of before because we're always trying to kind of build our bank.
Yeah. Brian Tyler Cohen, for sure.
Yeah.
Super structured to, super well put together, but gives great hot takes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Yeah, that's probably my favorite. I could watch like all his clips like a show, to be
Yeah.
honest.
That's a good one. I like him a lot. Okay, next question. Do you take corporate PAC money? I know that's pretty rare, especially in like a house race for state level. But if it were offered to you, would you take it, or do you plan to vow not to take corporate PAC money while you're in office?
I for anyone that I take money from, I'll definitely look at their values and what they stand for, and that will always be the deciding factor if I engage with you in that level, regardless if it's corporate PAC or a normal person.
Okay. All right, Layla, your next question's yours.
Yes. Okay, so if you look at the legislature as if it's college, what would you major in and what would you minor in?
Okay. What would I major in and what would I minor in? I mean, so this could kind of be anything, or does it have to actually be, subcommittees and stuff that actually
It can
exists?
be anything.
Okay, cool. I mean, so I'm a software engineer. So definitely it would be something revolving around technology, how to maybe increase STEM programs or things like that in the state. Um, just look at the media, look at everything that's happening with AI and tech. I think that tech is the future almost everywhere. You know, good or bad. It's definitely something that we need to be educated on and have the competence to use. It's going to be every part of our lives. So I think having that, a person with that perspective in the legislature is going to be really good for us.
Yeah, I agree. And
And
what are some,
minor?
oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, no. I
Continue.
don't. It's a minor. Yeah, I would have let you would let me get away with it without answering. Uh, mm, I guess I would still have to pick something that I am passionate about, that I know a lot about, but I could know more, is definitely on farming. I mean, Iowa is obviously heavy in agriculture. My family, my in-laws farm, so I do help my father-in-law on the farm. We do row crops as well as doing a large market garden where we provide vegetables to the Waterloo Farmers Market. So definitely, I guess minoring in all things ag and just learning how to produce things better and do it in more sustainable ways, right? Because, of course, our water quality is not the greatest here. But we obviously need to keep growing our food and feeding the world.
Yes, that's a good one. Um, what are some ways that you're active in your community?
Yeah, so again, uh, doing the market garden, that's probably gonna take up, so much of my time outside of campaigning. Like if you actually look over here, so that I have those two racks there. Those are gonna be where I do all my seedlings. So I'll probably, start either this week or next week. A couple of hundred tomatoes, collard greens, mustard greens, and plant some turnips. Um, yeah,
Exciting.
That's
yeah.
so cool. I can't grow anything like at all. I kill everything. I've tried so hard. I don't know.
Listen, go to Menards, just drop a tomato plant in the ground, give it some space and some water. It should thrive. Even if you don't trellis it, you don't have to baby it at all. Just like throw it in the ground, give it some water, and you'll be good
I
to
love
go. I
it.
promise. You can call me too. I can help you out.
You might get that call.
Okay. So this is probably the most controversial question that could
Oh,
get
we're
you
getting
canceled on the
serious. Yeah.
cats or dogs and why?
So I've had all kinds of animals. Oh my God. I've had cats, dogs, rabbits, uh hamsters, lizards, frogs, um, they say rabbits, all kinds of stuff. Um, so honestly, I want a big dog. I live in a condo right now, so I don't want to have a big dog just as of yet because I want them to have a backyard. Had a cat. My wife is allergic to cats. I would get a cat, but she's allergic. Um, so as of right now, neither. But what I really like that I miss that I had growing up is fish. I actually had like a little small koi pond in a backyard. So like I had them trained
Oh,
so much so that like I could almost like feed them by hand, which is like really cool. And they'd like let you pet them because they got so comfortable with just, which is like really weird, but I could pet my goldfish.
that is weird, but so cool.
So yeah, definitely, fish. I think fish.
I
Yeah.
love that. And we have two big dogs. So if ever you want to borrow one, just
Yeah.
let us know. I will happily bring them to you for a little stay. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you consider your top priorities that are not healthcare, water quality, and education? What do you
So like I
care about?
said before, that's the whole card, Layla. He just took all the issues. But definitely something around food programs. So one thing that allowed us to provide a ton of fresh produce to people over the past 2 years was like the LFPA program. It was a federal program, but it allowed the food bank to purchase from local farmers who were growing specialty crops, and specialty crops pretty much any of the things that we eat for the most part outside of like feed corn and soybeans. Um, you know, keeping some programs like that, figuring out how to do that at state level and a wide level, I think will help us feed a lot of homes. Because I know we did just, I probably was only doing a quarter of an acre to an acre worth of gardening, and that fed a ton of people just in my like local community. So I can only imagine how it could really like offset a lot of food deserts that are all across Iowa, both urban and rural.
Yeah, I have that part of my platform too, so I just got really excited that someone else cares about
There you go. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
that. Do you support the private school voucher program?
Yeah. I think that obviously private schools have their place in communities, and I think they have a right to exist. I think we just have to find a better way to allocate those resources. Because at the current moment, it's sort of defunding, or not even sort of, it is defunding our public schools. So we have to find a better way to work together with that.
So there's a lot of beef with Democrats on the private school voucher program. It's kind of split between the end goal is to get rid of the private school voucher
Mhm.
program, or yeah, we can work with it. Where would you put yourself?
I really don't know. I would have to really see, because I think it comes down to a matter of like, do we have enough money to support these programs, and why do we have that program, right? Like, if this program is in fact helping people go to a school that is meets their more meets their needs better, then we should find a place for it. But if it's doing it at the severe detriment of just the general population, we need to rethink that, right? So like there generally is a middle ground, but it's almost a non-starter if it's just going to kill private schools, right? So like we have to find that
Yeah.
Um, if you could pass legislation on a petty grievance, what would it be?
on a petty grievance.
Layla has good examples if you need an example.
Sure, give me one.
I think my example for this one is I support public transportation for all of the obvious reasons. It's
Mhm.
more affordable, it's better for the environment, it's accessible, but I also support it to get bad drivers off the road. I'm sick of driving behind these guys.
Um, I can say one thing, since you bring up transportation, one thing that's sort of annoying is each city has a different parking app or like way to like navigate that.
Drew
You know,
Stensland said the same
Ew.
thing.
did he?
He did.
Yeah, that's annoying. Like,
You're not
then I
wrong.
forget, and then sometimes you go to certain cities, yeah, they'll have the sign up, and you don't, it doesn't even say what app it is. It just sort of gives like the lot number, and then I'm cruising through like the three or four that I have to see if I could like find my meter.
We just went to
Yeah,
Des
yeah,
Moines
yeah. It could go.
and they had the same thing. It was just a sign with the number and then like a QR code. And I was like, there's no other way for me to do this but to download this stupid app that I'm gonna
Hmm.
use this one stinking time.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Hmm.
because it was a whole separate app from what I had for Des Moines.
Yeah.
Really? It wasn't
Yes.
it wasn't like Park DSM or like
There's
I think
Park
that's the
DSM,
normal.
and then there's the one that we used last time we were there.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
It wasn't
interesting.
Park DSM that last time. I wonder if I still have it on my phone.
yeah, but it
Yeah.
I
was
don't
something
know,
that
but it was a
well,
totally different one. So annoying.
Yeah,
yeah,
so we could figure that out. I think
Yeah,
like I
honest.
don't I don't know if we're gonna hurt a bunch of people by consolidating that or whatever. I don't know. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
that,
that's a
that would be my
good
petty.
good answer.
it's here. We're on
All
phone.
right. What would you consider valid experience for someone that wants to run for Iowa House or Iowa Senate?
Valid experience. It's serving, like wanting to serve your community. I don't think you need to check any boxes other than um being someone that participates in your community. and regardless if that's like me, like growing food and helping other people run, or maybe you've organized different things, maybe you just organize your local neighborhood and to do certain stuff, or maybe you're just passionate about a certain issue. If you're willing to get up and fight and for what you believe in and be vocal about it, by all means, toss your hat in.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting, like to see the varying answers on this question.
Mhm.
Because there are some people that feel like you should be, you should be a lawyer with a law degree, or
No,
you should have gone to school for political science, or,
gosh, no.
and I think that sometimes in those answers, we're thinking about it more as a job that you're trying to get, right?
Yeah.
Like some sort of kind of achievement rather than um wanting to better your community and wanting better for, your neighbors essentially.
Yeah.
And I know we have always kind of said, which obviously we're just two randos, right? Like my opinion
Mhm.
means this much in the scheme of things. But I think anybody that lives in Iowa that meets the legal requirements
Sure.
that wants to run for office should run for office. Now, there are caveats to that. I think if you're not active in your community in some way, you have no business running for public office.
Hmm.
But there are many, many ways to be active in your community, right? You could be on
Hmm.
boards, you could be on your city council, you could be growing food for your neighbors, you could be
Hmm.
organizing, um, mutual aid stuff. Like there's many ways to be active in your community. And I think all of those things are super valid. But I
Hmm.
think if you're not active in your community and you're not out talking to your neighbors, then you have no idea what they need, right? I
Hmm.
don't know. But I always think it's funny the different variances of answers. But for the most part, I think the general consensus has always been, since we started doing these at least, that if you want better for your community and you're old enough to do it and you
Yep.
can afford to do it and you have the time to put in it, then you're qualified, right?
And that's I was about to piggyback on that and say, do you have the time, right? So, running for office is demanding,
Hmm.
but depending on what you're running for, the job itself is demanding. You have to be in a certain place in life, and I just so happen to be in a place in life where I can take on that extra additive responsibility. Um, that doesn't necessarily, pay, right, what you're looking to do.
Yeah.
But you do it because you have the ability to serve and because you're passionate about it. So
Yeah.
as long as you're able to meet that passion and meet the work where it's at, absolutely.
I think like a lot of times campaigning is crazy, right? Like
Mhm.
campaigning itself to get elected to that position takes an immense amount of time and effort
Mhm.
and talking and all of the things, right? And I think we a lot of times we have a part-time legislature. So, people are like, "Oh, it's only a couple months out of the year."
Mhm.
Well, technically, yes, but if you're actually doing the job, it's all year round because you also
Yes.
need to be spending time with your constituents
Yep.
and seeing what their needs are throughout the year too.
You
So
should
it's
be
really
knocking doors year round.
yes, so it's a
Yep.
full-time job with part-time pay.
Yeah. Correct.
So on the kind of subject of campaigning being slightly overwhelming and a little crazy, what keeps you going when it gets really stressful and overwhelming? Because I think it does for everybody. What kind of keeps you moving forward?
Yeah, I really do like knocking doors. So just in my career, I've working in politics, I've mainly worked on the digital aspect of it. So just, doing like advertisements and managing people's social media and stuff. Um, but the human to human, contact you'll have at the door. And for the most part, people are very warm, very receptive, and they're excited that you show up, right? Like, so you're like, oh my God, no one ever shows up for me. Or you get, oh my God, I know, like my current representative, Timmy Brown Powers.
Yeah,
I know Timmy, like, da da da. Oh, you're running for her seat? That's awesome. Well, I hope to know you too, right? And now they do. So I love doing that. It's really warm, 9 times out of 10 knocking on someone's door.
that's awesome.
Yep.
I think Layla's had similar experiences. Door knocking has been really surprising for I think both of us. I'm her
Yeah.
driver, so we're rural, right? So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got to drive from house to house. So it's not just like I sometimes I wish we were just out walking because I feel like it would go quicker and we'd be able to cover more space quickly. But
Mhm.
the car time is also nice because sometimes there's really like really meaningful conversations that happen at the doors and it gives us a
Mhm.
chance to kind of talk about it and reflect on
Yeah.
it while we go to the next house.
Yeah.
But overwhelmingly, it's been absolute excitement from most people. People are excited that somebody showed up to knock on their door because out here, nobody's knocking doors. Nobody's knocked doors in years. So they're excited to see people again, but they're also excited that there's a chance and a glimmer of hope and some change that might come, right? So, and also people are just really excited to see that somebody who's young gives a crap about politics. So
Mhm.
that's always exciting. Layla, you got anything you want to add to that? Did she disappear?
Oh,
She might have disappeared.
no, the Wi-Fi keeps messing with the video, so I have
Oh,
to turn.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
But um no, I don't think I have anything specific to add other than the fact that even people who don't agree with like the issues I'm running on,
mhm.
um
Mhm.
they're just super excited to see that someone cares about them enough to show up.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Door knocking is the most brutal part about campaigning other than fundraising, but
Okay.
it's also the
Yeah.
most rewarding.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Dialing for dollars is not fun.
Ugh.
It's brutal.
It's
But yeah.
Layla's absolute favorite part.
To be forced to do it.
She has to be forced. We have to remind her. Her 16-year-old brother is like, "Did you do your call time?" Like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, "Fine." It's pretty funny to watch. Okay, what is your hottest take?
Yeah. So, I was thinking about this. Um, So again, from New York, I when I moved out here like 5, 6 years ago, it was like case like pizza from the gas station's really good. This Casey's pizza. I'm like, who's
Like it.
eating pizza from a gas station? No, I like it. No,
Oh
I
my
like it.
gosh.
I like it. It's pretty it's I don't know. I guess it's my hot take. Like for everyone not from Iowa, Casey's pizza, it's pretty decent like for
It is
gas
okay.
station pizza.
So for gas station pizza, yeah, it's super good.
Yes.
Rob Sand is gonna come for my throat right now. Jeez. I am okay with Casey's pizza. Just okay, I think. Like it's better than Quick Star pizza because Quick Star
Sure.
pizza is kind of gross. I love pizza. Pizza's probably one of my favorite foods. So I am a pizza. I'm not a pizza snob because if you give me something with actual mozzarella, you
Uh-huh.
know, instead of like shredded mozzarella, I'm gonna look at you funny. But yeah, Casey's Pizza, like I think for anybody that comes in from outside of Iowa and they're like, what the hell are you doing buying pizza from a gas station?
Yep.
But I think we're so used to it that we're like, yeah, it's just pizza. Like,
Yep. Yep.
so it's
Yep.
always funny to hear somebody that's like, you buy pizza from a gas station? Well, I guess that's not normal. But we travel quite a bit and we've spent quite a bit of time in New Orleans. It's my
Nice.
absolute favorite place to be. Would move there if I had the means. Not that I don't love Iowa. I love Iowa, but New Orleans is like my yeah. Anyways, it's a really weird shift to go from Midwestern Iowa where we have Casey's gas stations and Quick Star, Quick Trip, whatever. And then we get to New Orleans and it's just Shell stations and they don't have anything.
Mhm.
There's no
Yeah.
food in that place. Like you might be
Yeah.
able to get some like, gas station snacks like candy bars and stuff, but there's no actual food. They don't have warmers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like what
That was
is
sort of new
this?
to me too. Like
Yeah.
is you can get a pretty good sandwich, like depending on the
Yeah.
cases that you go to, the new ones and
Right.
the quick trips. Yeah.
It's very strange. That's a big shift. Like when you go somewhere else and then you're like, oh, let's stop at the gas station and grab something to eat. And then you walk in and
Mhm.
you're like, Snickers it is, I guess. Like, because you kind
Right.
of forget that that's not a normal thing. Okay.
100%.
What is your wokest take?
My wokest take. Mm, I don't know. I mean, organic tastes better.
That could be a woke take.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever like specifically gone for something organic or like paid enough attention.
It could be in my head too, you know.
It could be because you grow it. You're like,
Right.
of course this is better. I did it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Or that it's like more expensive at the store. Like it has to be so much better because I paid so much more for it.
That's true. That's
Yes.
true. Well, I'll say locally grown is best. How about
Yes,
that?
I
we
That's my
agree.
need to
bold take.
be
Yes.
better about going to like local farmers markets and stuff. It's just something
Yes.
I always kind of forget about. And I think
Yes.
it's because, I fall into the trap of placing a grocery order online and then going to pick it up because we're always so busy. And
Mhm.
I really just we need to take the time to go physically and
Yeah,
like go to a farmer's market to get things.
absolutely.
That can be our like bucket list for the spring and summer. Like we have to
Bucket list and
physically.
going to a farmer's
Like, yeah, that's how sad we are. We never leave the house for anything unless it's campaigning stuff or like, other like wench activities.
Well,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
summer we will be campaigning at the farmer's market.
That's cool.
Fair
That's
enough.
cool. Awesome.
Okay. Next question. What is something that you've learned about yourself from campaigning that you weren't aware of before?
Mm, I mean, something I learned about myself. Um, I didn't know how much I was not going to like call time. You know, as someone who's, managed candidates and was just like, you just have to do it and we're gonna do this and we're gonna sit here. And I've sat through call time. You sit with someone for 4 hours while they're making calls, right? And you're taking notes, da da da. I did not realize how much I was not gonna like doing it.
Like, oh, now I know why there was so much pushback when I was like, do your call time.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like that's valid. Okay, so we do something called rapid fire. It's not really rapid fire at all. It's two questions. They're yes or no answers. You do not have to expand on your answers, but if you'd like to, you absolutely can.
Okay.
First part is, are you pro-choice?
Yeah.
And then, do you support LGBTQ plus specifically trans rights?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. You got two questions left. Next one. Why should your constituents vote for you?
Um, you know, your leadership that you put in the House and Senate, like any government, they need to be confident and competent, and I'm both, and I'm gonna lead with a good heart. Um, and yeah, yeah, I know I only have the
Perfect.
best in mind for my community.
Awesome. Short, sweet, and to the point. I like it. All right. The last question is, what is your big ask? Share your socials, your website, and tell the people in your district what you need from them.
Yes. So one, need all the traffic. So vincentcollis.com. Search me on Facebook, Vincent Collis for Iowa. Search me on Instagram, Vincent Collis for Iowa. Search me on X/Twitter, Vincent Collis for Iowa. Go to all of them, like, subscribe, share, do all the things, please. Um, and also, when I knock on your door, greet me and engage with me, please. If we don't align on the things that maybe I'm campaigning on, please still engage with me. Um, the last thing we need is for anyone to not be a part of the process, right? And I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican or independent. I'm still running to be your representative. So please, engage with people who are looking to represent and be your voice in any level of government, particularly me when you see me.
Specifically. Perfect. I love that. Awesome. All right. That is it. That's the end. Also, donate the money. Donate money.
Yes.
Donate
Right.
money to the
Silly.
campaign.
Yes.
Money
Yes.
is important. Send him your dollars. He needs them. If he won't say it, that's okay. I will. All right. Thank you so much for hopping on here. Even though it was a little messy trying to navigate it. I appreciate it. We both appreciate it. Layla appreciates it too.
I
And we
do.
will, what'd you say, Layla?
I said, of course I do.
Oh, yeah. And we'll keep up on your campaign. Obviously, we'll see you. And we will get this posted and hopefully get you even more attention.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for coming on. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too, guys.
You hit me with lightning. Maybe